Potato fist, Oreo is the potato fist. Anyway, guys, it's 5 o'clock. Work shift's done. It's time for some evening festivities. It's funny, last week this time, I was like, woo, we're done work. We're freaking 5 days off, boys. Yeah! You know, freaking just so stoked and down. We're ready to party and stuff, and like, it's already been a week since then. Friggin' time flies during Christmas holidays. Anyway, guys, hopefully you don't mind these POV vlogs of mine. I kind of like shooting them like this. It's kind of neat. You get my perspective of the view. Kind of, sort of, maybe not, but it is what it is. Right now, where we're going to get some wood. And I'll be talking to you on the whole drive down, because why the frig not, right? Then after, I think I might take a rip over to Best Buy. No, I will not be wearing the camera inside of Best Buy for obvious reasons. Holy piss. Really don't feel like, oh shit, there we go, getting banned from Best Try anytime soon, but let's we gotta head down to friggin' Lakeshore area to go get this wood. Like, I got my wood over here, but I'm thinking she's probably pretty soggy. Actually, that would burn nice, that's not a problem. But this guy's letting me have 5 bags? Yeah, 5 bags of hardwood maple for $20. He just wants it gone. He's like, I had it up for a while, nobody's biting, so I just want this shit gone. And I was like, what do you want for it? And he said, $4 a bag. I only have 5 bags left. And I was like, okay, $20, 5 bags of maple, which I really, really, really wish we had that when we were down south. Yeah, like when we were down south, like, okay, so I bought some wood before I left because I didn't know what we were going to be doing. Like, I was under the influence that the cabin was going to have a fire pit outside the door. I didn't know what to expect because like Nikki told me, she's like, we're right on the lake. Well, what it is the grounds are right on the lake. We were nowhere near the lake. We had a little bit of a trot to get to the lake. I thought there was going to be like a fire pit, like you walk out the back door, there'd be like a spot there with like a little fire pit, a couple chairs around it, because she said there was Muskoka chairs. Nothing of what she told me was a lie though, because there were Muskoka chairs around the fire pit. It's just they were on the beach, which was not on our not in our backyard. You had to hike to get to where you wanted to go. Not a big deal, but because of the wind coming off the lake, it was just too damn cold. And well, too damn windy to even attempt to start a fire, so we just said screw it and ended up burning wood in the fireplace inside the house. Now that little wood stove that we had to work with, like, we ended up cooking on it the one night. Nikki cooked fries while I cooked the steak, or potatoes, and I cooked the steak. And that turned out pretty damn decent. And then the following night we didn't use, oh, they made s'mores in it. They used it to make s'mores. I never indulged in the s'mores. All in all, it was pretty good, but the wood we were getting, okay, so I went to Canadian Tire and I bought 2 bags of wood. When I called the lady to find out more about it, where the key was gonna be held, because I was gonna be getting there first. Whole objective was, I get there before they do, and then Nikki was gonna call me and we were gonna play a game with her son where, oh, I don't know what time I'll be able to get there tomorrow, buddy. They're calling for freezing rain. And I'm so happy I left on Christmas Eve and not Christmas Day, because North Bay did get hammered with freezing rain. Travel conditions were just garbage. The highways were shut down at certain points because of their sheer ice. There's no way I could have left Christmas Day and got there. There's no way. So we told him, like, you know, I don't know how we're going to get there, and it's like pretty crazy weather out and blah, blah, blah. And he was really disappointed that I wasn't going to be there because he really wanted me to be there. Well, when he got there, I was stupid. I didn't realize how well you could see into the cabin. He was looking in the cabin, he goes, is there somebody in our cabin? And I'm like, ah, shit, he can see me. But then in the front, I mentioned how you can basically clearly see inside the freaking front door. Well, not only that, the bedroom window was wide open, and I didn't realize he could see me there too. So he's like, Mom, there's someone in her cabin. Don't go in. Don't go in. I'm so scared. Don't go in. Don't go in. Don't go in. And sure enough, like, I went outside to greet them, and he went, oh my God, it's Adam. Like, he was convinced I wasn't going to be there. And then just shocked the crap out of him when I was. But that was kind of cool. But back to the wood story, because I'm so good at getting derailed. When I called the place and asked them about the key and all that, and what cabin that we were in and all that, I asked them about firewood, and they're like, yeah, we sell firewood. It's $15 a bag. And I was like, okay, cool. You know what, just for the sake of it, throw 2 bags at the doorstep and I'll pay you when I see you. Because of COVID restrictions, they didn't really have anybody in the office until the day we went to check out. There was somebody in there, was housekeeping. So we finalized the bill and then I paid off the 30 bucks then. But I also went to Canadian Tire and bought 2 more bags of wood, figuring, you know, 4 bags of wood is not too bad. Except for when I paid $11.99 at freaking Canadian Tire for 2 bags of wood, so it was $11.99 each, and the bags literally had like maybe 2 logs split, so it was like 8 pieces of wood. Really, really pathetic. The $15 pack of wood from the I don't know, we'll call it a resort, cabin, cottage, whatever the hell you want to call it. Their wood was literally maybe 2.5 logs. So it was really, really pathetic, like really beyond pathetic. And it was all soft stuff like cedar, pine, you know, shit that you throw in the fire. You get one hell of a flame, but after 15 minutes it dies and it's game over. You know, and they threw in some kindling and some newspaper to get the fire going. So that was kind of nice of them, but the wood they gave us was kind of cheap. So even Nikki said, man, I wish we had some hardwood. And it's like, yeah, like Dad just knocked out both maple trees in the backyard, which would have been awesome to get for burning, because maple, let me tell you, she takes a while to burn through. She's a hard, dense wood. But this guy here has got some maple and nobody likes it for campfires, because like when you're doing a night burn, because you put a maple log on and it's good for the whole night, right? And that's literally what I'm looking for. I don't want to be going through a whole bunch of wood. I want to get the fire nice and hot and then throw a couple maple logs on it and then just let her do her maple thing. Where most people just want to throw a bunch of cedar and pine and stuff on it, get that fire just straight burning, and then just keep feeding it throughout the night. That'd not be me. That'd not be me. The fact that I'm gonna get friggin' 5 bags for 20 bucks is pretty good. And this is what I was telling Nikki. I'm like, I should have called this guy up, because this is the same guy that I bought all the wood off before. All the wood that's currently leaning up against my shed. And it's a mix of hard and soft wood. So he got himself a bunch more, and I reached out today and I asked him, I said, how much for bags of wood? And he's like, oh, all the soft stuff's already up for grabs. It looks like it's gonna go. He goes, I have some hard stuff, some dried maple and some semi-dry birch. And I said, how much for the maple? And he's like, oh Christ, $4 a bag. Nobody wants it. I was like, all right, how many bags you got? He said 5. I said, all right, pack them up. I'll take them at 5. Told him I was to be there for 5:15, but I got stuck on a last-minute hero call with a client and I couldn't get the frig off the phone. So that kind of sucks, but what can you do when you live in a shoe, right? Get a head, move to a hat, or get laced to move to a boot. I don't know, whatever. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, guys, I was talking about drones in the earlier videos there, and I watched a video on YouTube of the DJI Mini versus the DJI SE versus the DJI Mini 2. And honestly, for what I'm gonna do, the DJI SE is good enough, good stuff for what I want. So I'm gonna end up getting that too. I think on the way back there, we'll see how busy Best Try is, and we'll probably jump in there and grab that. Won't be able to fly it tonight. It's too damn dark to be flying a drone out back. I don't have the proper lighting for that, but might as well pick it up now. And yes, I'm still getting a 3D printer. Don't worry, guys. I'm just in no rush to pick that up yet. I gotta do some research. Like, a lot of you guys gave me some great ideas on what to look for and what to get. But at the same time, there's still a lot more to look at. Like, I've read the reviews on the Ender 3, and a lot of people said that they got them and they're complete cheeks and they had to send them back. And then I read the reviews on some of the other ones you guys mentioned. There's one that one person mentioned, I looked it up, and it came with a laser engraver. And I thought that was kind of cool, because, you know, then you can get into making like laser engraved wood. And like something I did last year for a friend of mine who's big into charcuterie making, like they actually make boards professional, like would actually get paid like a catering, like, hey, can you make me a charcuterie board? And then like they put like olives and all sorts of meat and shit on it, and berries and grapes and that. But she wanted custom boards, and I was making them for her using my what wood shop I have, like, and I was like joining boards together, and I don't know, I was having fun. I never made a video about it because I wanted to learn how to do everything first before I jumped in and made a video. But next year, now that I know a little bit more about woodworking and I got a little bit more awesome ideas down, once the Firebird's out of there, I get my shop back, we're probably going to be doing a little bit more interesting things out there with wood. So I got some ideas for things I want to build, and charcuterie boards. You know, you make a nice charcuterie board, you can turn around and flip that for $300-400 bucks. Charcuterie enthusiasts out there will jump on that hard, and I know my cousin's just freaking losing his mind right now. What the hell is this flashing light up here? What's going on? What is that? Should I be concerned? Good thing I don't have epilepsy, because let me tell you, anybody in my audience who has epilepsy, I'm sorry. Okay, turn. Let's go. I want to get this wood and get home. I also need to grab ketchup. I have no ketchup. I plan on having meatloaf for supper tonight. Maybe even put in a workout. I don't know. One thing I do know is yeah, definitely no flying the drone tonight. She's too freaking dark. There'd be no way to, unless I went over to Thompson Park where they got like the baseball diamond lights, but it's about the only way I could fly it. Blinded by the lights. Stay in your lane, bud. Holy shit. I love it when people are driving SUVs and they come out onto the roadway, but they come out and they swing way too far and they cut halfway into your lane. It's so good. So yeah, we'll get the wood and then we'll go pick up that drone. And I don't know how often, like I said, I don't know how often I'm gonna use it, which is the reason why I'm really hesitant about dropping like 7 bills. Actually, it'd be more like $800 on the DJI 2. So dropping $429 on the SE, which is quote unquote the best budget drone on the market right now, seems a lot more feasible. You know, honestly, I'm not looking to break the bank for camera equipment, and I'm just looking to get some different angles and have a little bit more fun shooting video. And a drone's a great scout too. Like if you're ever in the woods and you have your drone with you, you can use it to scout out the area. I'm down at the end of this road here, way down at the end of this road. Then go home, and if Best Buy is too busy, we'll wait till later on and then go to Best Buy. They're open till 8 o'clock. I don't care. I don't care about if I have to go back out. Doesn't bother me any. Doesn't bother me any. Bodder. B-O-D-D-E-R. Write that down. All right, guys. I'll chime back in a bit. Peace. Well, guys, just got out of Best Buy. Huge disappointment. Their website is not showing proper data. I wanted the SE. They didn't have it in stock. All they had was the Air 2, or not the Air 2, the Mini 2. And it was the Mini 2, not the Fly More kit. And honestly, the Mini Tube on its own, it's like 450 bucks. The Fly More kit is $699, and it literally, or no, it was $529 for the regular kit, like just for the Mavic, or the Mavic Mini with the one battery charger, good to go. You basically charged it in the actual drone. It was like $549 or some shit, or $699, and you get 2 extra batteries. The batteries are $70 a piece, so that alone makes it worth it. It's like $150 there for $699. But I want the Fly More kit. I don't want just the drone, because I want the extra batteries, because, you know, if you're out and about, are they throwing that chair in the garbage? Because that's a pretty sweet chair. No, it isn't. Anyway, big upset. I didn't get my drone. You know, it's the second time that I went to go pick up something at Best Buy. The website said it had, and then I get there and it totally is not there. So the Mavic was not purchased. I went there the other night to return the DJI OM5, and I was like, oh, I'll get myself an Oculus Quest, because I had so much fun playing with Nikki's sons that he got for Christmas. I was like, well, I'll get one too, and then that way there I can maybe some night play games with them or something, I don't know. But that fell through because our Best Buy sucks. They can't keep anything on the shelves. They can't restock, so whatever, eh? There's a reason why I'm not spending money, because I'm about to get a career change, I bet. And I'm gonna need every friggin' dime I have in order to float myself until paychecks start coming in. At which point, then it'll be easy street. I should be able to afford to pay attention again. It'll be neat. It'll be awesome. It'll be exciting. The truck will be paid off in April, and then I can hurry up and pay off my debt, get rid of that freaking house mortgage, pay that off as soon as possible, then start enjoying life. So yeah, it sucks I didn't get the drone, but honestly, I couldn't fly it anytime now. You're not supposed to fly those things in the winter. Nothing's harder on a battery than friggin' the cold, man. Lithium ion, that's why I don't understand how these Teslas are able to operate in the winter. The cold's got to reduce their battery life, right? It's got to reduce their range a bit. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I know for a fact that my GoPro, when she's really cold out, she doesn't hold the charge for very long. When she's nice and warm out, she freaking holds the charge for longer. I can go a good 75 minutes in the summer on the GoPro, but I can only go about 14, 15 in the winter before she freezes and lock. That's a thing. Probably still gonna go with the SE. I'll just keep my eyes on the Best Try website, and if I happen to see it show up there, I'll jump on her. Can't tell what lane they're in, for crying out loud. I'm gonna just make my move. Went to the dollar store though, because I buy French's ketchup there. You can get a small bottle for $1, so I grabbed 2 of those. French's, Heinz, I don't know, it all tastes the same. It's all vinegar and tomatoes in the end anyway, so who cares, right? But yeah, man, probably gonna go home and put in a workout, because I kind of feel like it now. Got nothing else really going on, so put in a little lift, have some meatloaf. Oh, and I'll show you the wood that I got for 20 bucks. I told Buddy though, when I was picking up the wood, how much they charged me in the Muskokas for wood, and how much they charged me at Canadian Tire. And he's like, you paid $50 and that's all you... Oh, it's $1.38.6 for gas? That's sexy. That's upsetting that I just called that sexy. But when I told him how much we paid in the Muskokas for gas, he was like... Or gas, friggin' wood. He was like, are you serious? It's like, man, I wish you would have given me a call. He's like, for that price, I could have filled up half the box of your truck with some maple and cedar, and even given you a bag of kindling just on good nature. I would have friggin' loaded you right up and you'd have been good to go for the whole time. He's like, he's been able to have that fire lit all day, all night, and then some. Just kept feeding her. Good to know, man. I said, I'll be in touch, because that's the same guy I bought the wood off before. Same guy I bought the wood off last time. Guy's shit's good. So we got 5 bags of hardwood here, and she'll burn nice. She's nice, dried, seasoned, good wood. He basically sells, like right now, he's got like all the wood he had, all the soft stuff. The reason why it goes quick is because ice fishing is going to start as of Saturday, right? But I don't think Nipissing's really of any grade to be standing on. I think Coke Machine only had her graded out to what, friggin' 3 inches, 4 inches. I wouldn't walk on that. Are you kidding me? No thanks. I know some monkeys went out on friggin' Calendar Bay and they're like, oh, she's like 8 inches out here. Okay, don't be drilling holes and fishing though. That's still Nipissing. It's highly illegal. You go to prison. I'm a little anxious for hard water fishing, but at the same time, you know, I can wait. I'm not going to do it as much this year as I did last year, which is the reason why I'm not investing in it. You know, if I was still single and had nothing to do every damn weekend, I'd probably would have already blown through my Christmas money on a new ice shack, because I'd really like to get a single flip over, because it'd be easier to deploy and we can go out and really run and gun, like literally run and gun. Get to the site, flip it over, grab my rod, just start friggin' dangling right there, instead of get to the site, pop up the friggin' shack, or get to the site, rip a hole, pop up at the shack, sit it on top and set up all the crap inside. All the crap's already set up inside of a friggin' flip over. Just gotta arrive on site and then hammer down. Well, tomorrow's Friday. Nikki comes down and we're gonna do a fire in the backyard now that we have some fuel to burn. Should be pretty good. Should be pretty good. I don't know, I'm excited. I probably don't sound excited right now because I'm a little bit upset that the friggin' drone wasn't there. Like I said, I can't really fly it, but I was like, I finally decided. Like, I'm like, okay, you know what? Boom, let's go with the SE. That's the one for me. It's perfect. 1080p, 60 frames per second, 2.7K at 30. Good enough, good stuff. 1080p, good enough for me. Looked up all the features it can do. It had everything I wanted. I was like, all right, that's perfect. Let's go get it. You know, the price is right. $429 for the Fly More kit. And then you get there and they're like, oh, well, the guy at first was like, oh, I never even heard of the SE before. I told him what it was and he's like, oh. He checks, yeah, we don't have that in stock. I can order it in, but it'll take about a month. Well, I can order it in from Amazon and it'll take about, you know, a week. So me okay, but you know what? I'm just gonna hold off on everything. Hold off on purchasing Oculus, hold off on purchasing pretty much everything. And then we'll wait until we find out what's going on the job front. Hopefully next week, the week after at the latest, we find out what's happening there. And if we're full-time or if we're still doing this Mickey Mouse operation of friggin' Walmart's shelf stalker pay for prime technician work. At which point, I'll be looking for a new job. But check this out, man. Like, this is 1 bag of wood here. That's some good shit right there. That's some heavy shit too. we're gonna have some good fire. I might have to actually get back there and pull that out. I don't really want to be leaning into my truck, not with that salt all over the side. Is this gonna come out or what's going on here? Just chuck it over the side. Get it in the garage for now, and then we'll sort through it another day. Which I mean by that is tomorrow. You know what, I'm just gonna put it right here. Just drag it over. I gotta make room in the garage for it anyway. And then tomorrow night as we're burning, I'll just go to the garage, grab another pack, burn it. Garage bag, grab another pack, burn it. I do still have all that wood on the side of the shed to burn too. Once we get the fire roaring, we can start going through that rotation too. It's gonna be a good night. Gonna be a good night for a fire. I think I've only had 2 fires off my last burn permit. That's something else I need to check, is if that tent actually has any holes in it. Would really hate to get out on the ice, go to set that thing up and realize an entire wall is missing because a mouse decided to make a friggin' nest out of it. There we go. Anyway guys, I just sent Nikki a picture of the wood, telling her that should be more than enough. As for this thing over here, tomorrow I'm gonna grab my gloves, flip it upside down, knock all the shit out of it, and we'll get a good fire going. Get a real good fire going. Like I said, I got all this crap over here to burn too, so we'll be good. We'll get some fires going. We'll get her producing some major thermals. Well, the gods will see it. Okay, no, the gods won't see it because that's illegal and I can't make a fire that big. Not without pissing off somebody in the fire marshal area or whatever. But anyway, I grab my ketchup. Yip, ketchup trick. Grab Oreo's shawl too and get it out of here. No reason to have that in here still. Probably his leash too would be a good idea. That should be in the house. Alright, let's go in the house and deal with the barky dog. Barky Bark and the Funky Bunch won't shut the frig up. What do you want? Are you eating cat poop again? Alright, well, I think I'm going to put in a workout and then we'll have some noms. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? No more POV mode, got you back on the trippy potty. But yeah, friggin' decided to do a little bit of trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I'm back on Best Buy's website. Totally says they have the SE in stock at the store here in North Bay. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know why they couldn't find it, but he didn't even try. I'm like, you know what? There's a reason why I went to go get the Oculus and it was not available. And there's a reason why I went to go get that drone and it wasn't available. I'm 100% sure that there's a safety running right now. Basically that safety is Adam, stop spending your money on stupid shit that you don't need right now and focus on having money in the bank for a reserve, because there was some times this past summer where money has become a problem, especially the one time when I didn't get paid for a week because payroll screwed up and they were going to carry it over to the next week, and I had to get a little bit of a money from Dad to cover the mortgage payment at least. And then I basically fasted for that week because I had no money for groceries. So I had to borrow some money from Dad just to cover some bills while I waited for my check to come in next week and pay him back. So if I actually had money in the account, didn't live paycheck to paycheck, that would be a problem. But now, you know, there was a good run of income money coming in. You know, I sold a couple items, got $300, put that in the bank, and then there was the Bitcoin jumped up to like 74,000. I sold it then because figuring why not. Now it's down to 59,000. So I'm building back up until we get the next surge in price, which they're saying is probably gonna be around March-ish. So we'll just let her build until then. But like I said, if I do get this job as SO2 and or SO3, it could be upwards of 5 weeks before I see my next paycheck. And if that's the case, that's gonna be problematic. So come on, Oreo. So we got to make sure we got money in the bank to cover any problems. You know, I'm pretty sure worst case Ontario, if something happened, I ran out of funds for whatever reason, I know I could reach out and get help. But like I said, I'd rather make sure I have the money in the bank before I reach out to have some banked money in my bank. You know what I mean? So let's wait and see what the future holds before we go make any big purchases. And for some, maybe a $400 drone isn't a big purchase. For some, maybe a $700 drone isn't a big purchase. But you know what? $100 spent, to me, $100 is a big purchase. $50 is a big purchase. Kind of stingy at times, you know? The only reason why I bought this, like for instance, when I bought this GoPro Hero 8 last year, I'd like to say around this time, but it wasn't around this time. It was actually around March. No ice fish with this thing. So it'd been about February, whenever I caught friggin' the roof rat. But when I bought this here GoPro, You know, it took a lot of humming and hawing to friggin' decide to do it. And you guys probably see me in the past with big decisions and buying cameras and stuff where I kind of hummed and hawed about it and was like, oh, do I need it? Like when I bought that 730 HS, which I sold, so that's gone. But then I bought the, I ended up buying, what did I bought the GoPro Hero 7, and it was horrible on battery life. Like this one's way better. I ended up returning the Hero 7, then getting the Canon, the Mark II, G7X Mark II, and it was kind of potato. Well, it was good. It took great video, took great audio. The camera itself was phenomenal. Just the one I had problems. The audio on it was great, but the memory cards kept failing. It would randomly turn off mid-record. It would report an overheat when it was cool. The one I had some problems, and I should have warrantied it right away, but I was kind of hoping that the problems would just work themselves out, which that doesn't work with technology, because chances are if a problem works itself out, it's a loose connection that's just going to get loose again. But I hum and haw about big purchases. Even my truck, like when I was looking to buy a vehicle in 2017, you know, I realized, okay, listen, I need to get a new vehicle. That G6, she's hurting. There's some days I didn't even film it because it was like, holy crap, I went to start it and she just didn't want to start. It would spin, make a lot of weird noises, It was getting to the point where nobody else could start that car right because you literally just had to hold the key a certain way to get it. It was a bad time. So I knew, I was like, you know what? I got to do myself a favor and get a new vehicle. So then I started doing the test driving. Then I was like, screw it. You know what? I walked into Ford. I want to buy a truck. We talked for a bit, ran the financing numbers and went, okay, you know what? Let's do it. I'm just going to do it. Frig it. Let's make it happen. Boom, shakalaka truck. And it's probably one of the best decisions I ever made, because that truck is friggin' awesome. So a major purchase, don't get me wrong, but luckily, like I said, April, truck is gone. Or not gone, truck payments are gone. The truck is remaining. I have no reason to trade it in. I love my truck. After it's paid off, then it's time to do some minor modifications, nothing crazy. Not putting no exhaust on it, and no intake and all that shit. I'm gonna put like a topper on it. Maybe some, I don't know. I was thinking about putting some bush guards along the front, like those bars, to protect the front bumper from like branches and shit. If I ever go off, not off-roading, but like off the beaten path, I don't want the plastics to get annihilated, because apparently it doesn't take much for that to happen. And I'd like to get some better freaking tires on the damn thing, so if I do park in the friggin' ice, I don't get stuck, because that was kind of humiliating last year. But anyway, guys, things will definitely be different when I hear back about if I got the service officer job or not. And I'll definitely keep you guys posted. I'm hoping to hear something next week on whether it's a yay or a nay. And then we'll go from there. But anyway, guys, I'm going to shut her down because she's like 10 to 11. I took a melatonin and I'm freaking tired. I don't know what the hell my cat's doing. She's pawing the water. I did put CBD oil, this stuff right here, in her food. So she's pretty high right now. That's probably what she's doing. Kitty cat's stoned. She's cheeched. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, down below they go. And until next time, guys, live to win, never give in. Sit, stupid, sit. Good dog.